There's 5 days to go until Election Day, and Kamala Harris still can't tell you what her first executive action would be if she's elected.
Day one, what's your first executive action?
Well, my first priority, which will be probably the package of bills, is about bringing down the cost of living. So it's about housing, it's about childcare, it's about what we need to do to deal with grocery prices. So it's not one, but it's a package that is with one singular purpose, bringing down the cost of living.
She's had plenty of time and plenty of practice to come up with something, and that's what you get. The Vice President held a rally today in the swing state of Nevada where she once again suggested that Donald Trump is an evil dictator.
We're fighting for the right for people to be heard and not jailed because they speak their mind.
The attack is not a new one, but the problem is Donald Trump has already been president and no one was jailed for speaking their mind. In fact, many argue that Trump's team is the one that values free speech. He's got Elon Musk on his side, who spent $44 billion on X to ensure there is a platform without censorship. Now, with this election being so close, the Democrats are running out of time to define themselves in this campaign, to be clear on policy and to claw back the support they seemed to have just 2 months ago. Yet the sitting president is making it worse for them nearly every day. As Jesse Watters put it on Fox News, Joe Biden has done more damage than Hunter with his laptop.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Media knows comments like this swing elections. USA Today says Biden's comment reminds us he has no business being president. Democrats were already wetting the bed before Garbagegate. Now they're pointing fingers at each other, and the election isn't even over.
Then, in a move that is being labelled as bizarre, Joe Biden appeared to bite a baby at a Halloween event.
In an election that's had so many unprecedented moments in the last week, we've now had some of the most iconic images of campaigning that we've seen in America in a long time. First of all, this evening, we have new images coming through of Joe Biden meeting trick-or-treaters at the White House and appearing to bite the leg of a baby dressed like a turkey. The pictures have quickly gone viral after Joe Biden's gaffe yesterday evening, calling Donald Trump supporters garbage.
It almost makes you wonder if there is any part of Joe Biden that wants Kamala Harris to win, because he just keeps generating material that is a big boost for the other side. Turning Point Action official spokeswoman Caitlin Sinclair joined Power Hour to discuss Donald Trump's response to Joe Biden's comments. Joining us now is Turning Point Action official spokeswoman Caitlin Sinclair. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us once again on Power Hour. We have to start off by the response we've seen from Donald Trump today after President Joe Biden let it slip that he thinks millions of Americans are garbage. Here is Donald Trump dressed up like a garbage truck driver at his rally in Wisconsin.
And I have to begin by saying 250 million Americans are not garbage. This week, Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And now, speaking on a call for her campaign last night, crooked Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. No way. No way.
Caitlin, I often find it a bit cringe when politicians dress up for the cameras, but not this time. That is so clever of Donald Trump. And just how embarrassing is it for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
Yes, well, I think this is just an epic level of trolling, right? And that's exactly why it's home for so many Americans, because Donald Trump, the candidate and the person behind the scenes, has such a good pulse on pop culture. And that's what we've seen throughout this entire campaign. The stark contrast to candidate Kamala Harris, who is going on podcasts like Call Me Daddy and completely is so lost when it comes to that intersection that Donald Trump so perfectly sits at, which is the intersection of pop culture, of entertainment, of sports. You see him attending UFC fights, you see him attending football games, and then politics. So it really is that four-way intersection, and Donald Trump sits so perfectly at it. And this garbage comment that was made by Joe Biden, I mean, so out of touch. And he was talking about the joke about the Puerto Rican community. I saw a lot of Puerto Ricans take to social media since this comment was made on Sunday. And let me tell you, they agree with the comment that that island is garbage. They agree with that comment. They're actually not offended by this. And I thought of this analogy earlier. I, as a New Yorker, a very proud fifth generation New Yorker, I call my city of Manhattan in New York City trash on a weekly basis, because guess what? It is. The liberals and the Democrats have run the city into the ground. There is quite literally trash everywhere, and the city is operating under such liberal rule that it has become a trash city. I have a lot of friends in LA that call their city garbage all the time. They call it trash all the time. But that's different than a comedian making a joke. Again, stark contrast between the sitting president of the United States calling millions of people that he represents garbage. So that's my take on today.
Look, when comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made that joke during a roast during Trump's New York City rally, some people on both sides said that it didn't go down that well, but the media had a complete meltdown over it. But I love comedian Jon Stewart's take.
There's something wrong with me. I find that guy very funny. So, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, bringing him to a rally and have him not do roast jokes, that'd be like bringing Beyonce to a rally and not have... Oh.
Look, he nails it. But it's 2024 and you apparently can't have comedy anymore.
Yes, again, this is coming from a side that is triggered by everything, right? These crybaby liberal Karens that get triggered by everything. They're so damn sensitive. And then they are the ones that are supporting a president calling millions of Americans garbage. You don't see us crying about it. You see the person that we support actually making a joke about it, trolling them, and making light of the situation. Now, this is an administration that has done nothing for the Puerto Rican community for the past 3.5 years. And now I think it's funny they want to use some comedian's joke to use the Puerto Rican people as a scapegoat or as a political pawn for their new attack on Donald Trump, because in my opinion, they're doing this all because they're losing in the polls. These people are miserable. They can't get any supporters to actually laugh at their jokes. This is a candidate, Kamala Harris, that is so unlikable, so inauthentic, definitely does not border the line of being funny or personable. But the Puerto Rican people, again, from the messages on social media, from those that have made videos on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, yes, there quite literally is so much pollution that has washed up on these beaches that, yes, the Puerto Rican island is trash right now. And these people are supporting Donald Trump to fix these problems. So I don't think that, again, any of these comments are going to affect what we're going to see happen next Tuesday.
We have heard from Kamala Harris today, and she's really trying to distance herself from the president. Let's take a listen.
First of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for.
You know, millions of Americans are watching that. They're wondering, is she sincere or does she share the same view as Joe Biden?
So let me get this straight, Kamala. By saying that Joe Biden clarified his comments today, this is gaslighting beyond epic proportions. Do they think the American people are stupid? Thank God for Elon Musk buying up the Twitter space of now that we refer to as X, because guess what? We have receipts. We have Joe Biden on tape referring to Americans that support Donald Trump as garbage. We actually have it on tape. So now the White House is trying to walk back these comments. Joe Biden put out a statement, yes, trying to walk back these comments. We have Kamala Harris distancing herself from the sitting commander-in-chief. But who is that fooling? They have been telling us for the past 3.5 years, do not believe your lying eyes. Do not believe your lying eyes when it comes to the open border. Do not believe your lying eyes when it comes to the inflation reports, when it comes to Americans going to the gas tank, trying to fill up their truck, trying to fill up their cars. Don't believe your lying eyes when it comes to Americans going to the grocery store and prices have skyrocketed and they can't afford to put food on the table. And now what are they telling us? Don't believe our ears when we have something on tape? Again, this is epic gaslighting, and I don't think the American people are falling for it.